Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. Let's talk about Girls Planet 999 episode 3. We start off with the rankings of the different cells. So the top 17 cells will be the ones continuing on, and anybody below will be eliminated. Then we get to the practice rooms. The girls who were in the top 9 are putting on their special top 9 practice jerseys, and a lot of people are envious and talking about how good they look. Then the teams get into the different discussions about who should be getting what positions. A majority of the teams do it where somebody can audition for the part that they want and then the team votes on them. And I think a couple of really incredible things happened that was nice to see. One was that Kim Do-ah was given the killing part, and she said, I will take a lower part or a less important role in the performance so that you guys can have more screen time, basically, and I'm already the killing part. And everybody in her team was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then we have G1's team. G1 got the killing part for Yes or Yes, and somebody was able to speak up and say, like, hey, I know you really want this part, but if you do that, you'll have 50 seconds, and that's the majority of the performance. And G1 was like, oh, like, thanks for bringing that up. I don't mind not getting this part. So it's nice to see them working as a team. I think the only team that did it differently was the Eve team, and Fu Yaning said that she wanted to be the leader because she's the oldest, and so everybody on her team agreed and made her the leader. And she said that how they would do it is they would pick one part they really want and audition for that one part, and then the rest is like, we'll see what's left over and then we'll give it to you. And that doesn't make sense to me because I feel like you're not putting the best people suited for each position in the position. You're basically putting people where they see fit, and that's it makes sense to me now why the Eve is getting so much attention from Mnet for not being well done. And we see Yoo Da-yeon basically burst into tears and talk about how if she had known that this is what was going to happen, she wouldn't have picked the other cells to be on their team because they basically steamrolled her and she got what was left over. Then we get to performance day, and the Planet Master comes out and gives us a flashback of them deciding the order for everybody to go with a dance battle. I mean, honestly, to me, this was 20 minutes we could have skipped. And because, I mean, some of the dancing was okay. Some of it was just, like, a little cringe to watch. It was nice to see the dance teachers freestyle. That was nice. Everything else, I was like, we could have skipped this. So we get to the performances. First up is Yes or Yes Twice, Team 1. And they got some rough feedback from the judges during their interim performance. They were basically like, Ji-won wasn't dynamic enough, and it was nice to see the Japanese contestants speak up for themselves and say, like, we're just more reserved and we feel like things are going too fast. So it suggested that they just spend time together and enjoy being a team because it's going to make their performance look better. They did a really good job in their performance. Then we get to Team 2, and they got pretty good feedback during their performance review by the judges, except Sayin was told that, like, she needs to get it together, especially as, like, the main vocalist. And then the judges are ranked the teams to see, like, who was the best cell out of both teams for the interim performance and who was the worst cell. Sayin's cell was the worst, and Wenju basically, like, went off on Sayin. It kind of more tough love than, like, I'm mad at you. Like, she was like, we need to get it together or we're going to go home. Like, and that's it. Like, we need to focus. And I think that was good for Sayin. So their performance was really good, really well done. The judges said that Sayin was a bit fast with her moves. So Team 1 won, and it was kind of heartbreaking. Do-ah cried after and was like, I was really desperate to win, to be honest. which is interesting because we didn't see any of that before the performance. She seemed really chill, cool as a cucumber, but with everything happening in the world, especially with her group Fanatics not being really well known, I feel like this is kind of the last chance for them, and they're knocking on disbandment's door, so it makes sense. It was sad. Both teams did really, really well, and I wouldn't be surprised if both teams' cells move up in the ranking. Then we get to Blackpink's How You Like That, and both teams had the same package this time. Instead of them separating it into like team 1, team 2, we got to see it all at once. So the judges had said that team 2 did a really great job in the interim evaluation, and that they were really dynamic. They said that Kim Da-yeon, who was the number 1 ranked Korean trainee, did really well, and that they didn't put her in the top 9 because that's like what she needed to push her. I'm calling BS on that one. Like, honestly, I just think there were people that were better, and they put them in the top 9. And she starts crying, and then for some reason, a couple other Korean trainees started crying. And she's like, I really needed to hear that. So Team 2 got rave reviews. Team 1 was told that, first of all, Shen Zhaoting was the center / killing part person, and they said that she wasn't like dynamic enough. She set the tone for the performance. And then Kai Bing didn't know the rap, and she got pretty much torn apart from the judges for that. And it makes sense. Like, she fought to be the main rapper, and then she went into the interim evaluation not knowing the rap. And I feel like we've seen produced series before. You know you're going to be torn apart by the judges if you don't know your lines by the time you do interim evaluations. So she basically like spends all night in the practice room learning the rap, and then we come to the stage. Both teams did really well in their practice, like tech performance that the judges saw. So the judges were really excited. Team 2 started off rough. The first vocalist for Team 2 started too early, and then the second vocalist started too early, and then the dance got messed up, and people were going too fast. It was a hot mess. The saving graces of this team was the killing part person was really, really good, and Yoon Ji-ya's rap was incredible. I mean, she did a really, really good job. And it wasn't even just her rap, it was like her entire performance abilities and her stage presence. We get to Team 2. Team 2 has oopsies as well. Kai Bing doesn't move in time for Shen Zhaoting's killing part, and it kind of messed up the whole performance. In terms of like the vibe of the performance, because her mess up was really obvious to her teammates, and thankfully like Choi Yoo-jin was the first vocalist, and she like didn't let it shake her at all. She's an experienced idol. I didn't think it would be shaken. Then Shen Zhaoting was late for her part. Other than that, the performance went really well. And the judges basically like tell Team 2 like they're really disappointed in them. Team 1 was told that it was the worst performance of the day, and we don't know what order they actually perform in. This is the order that Mnet's showing it to us in, so it's totally possible that they were the last group and they heard that, or they were earlier group and they were told that. So yeah, Team 1 ended up winning. I mean, for me, I don't know if I would have chosen either team to win. It was just, there were decent performances, but I feel like with Blackpink songs in particular, like, you either do them well or like you don't do them well. Like, there isn't really in between. So a decent performance of a Blackpink song is like kind of like a performance in general. And I just feel like, oh, well, let me recap. That's basically the end of the episode. We get like a clip of the Eve team starting the performance, and that's about it. We go to the next episode. And this is where I'm mad at Mnet. We only saw 2 groups perform. There's 3 more groups left. And by groups, I mean like the songs that they're doing. And the voting ends next Saturday. So obviously there are some contestants that I've been like looking through the YouTube comments. People are like in love with and voting for, like Wenju. She basically like got a lot of attention for going off on Saiyan, and appropriately going off on Saiyan. I think a lot of people are like, look, we totally get why she was upset. And for having a really stable performance. And I think Saiyan's vocals were really well done for the performance. And so I know people are going to be voting for these contestants who did really well this episode. And I'm thinking of, we haven't seen a majority of their performances yet. Majority of the performances are coming next week. And I just don't think that's fair. Because these contestants are probably going to be really dynamic and incredible. And they're not going to get the opportunity to get as many votes as the contestants who were shown this week. And it just feels wrong. It's wrong, Mnet. Why are you doing this? And it's been a while since I've seen a produced episode, so I don't remember if voting happened the same way, where the performances ended and there were 24 hours between the performances and the voting ending. But it was just, I don't know. My heart breaks for these girls. It hurts because I know that there's going to be people who do incredible next week, and because they weren't given enough camera time or attention, or they had a rough performance from the first episode or the first two episodes, I just know that they're not going to continue on in the competition, and it's heartbreaking because so many of these contestants are desperate for this. Either this is their last shot at being able to be an idol, or their companies are in a really rough position and they need them to do well on this program. It's heartbreaking, and it's sad to know what Mnet is doing. Like, I feel like we should have been given at least to like Wednesday before they film the episode or something. I don't know. So it's going to be, I think, episode 5, which is the episode after next week's episode, is going to be hard to watch, knowing that like some people didn't have enough time to show the world what they have. Don't forget to vote. You can vote on the Universe app. You can vote once a day. Vote for the cells that you want to save from elimination, and vote for the individual contestants that you want in the top 9. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the episode, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Hi, this is Editing Me. I saw on YouTube that Mnet is uploading all of the face cams of all of the girls. So if you want to see how a contestant does, feel free to go check those out. My opinion still stands. I think it's sneaky and snaky that Mnet is doing it this way, and I do think that it's going to impact the contestants' chances of making it to the next round, because people are only going to look at the fan cams of the contestants that they're interested in. I highly doubt someone's going to sit there and watch all 99. If they do, kudos to them. So go check those out, vote, and see you next week. Bye.